If you love America, if you love freedom, if you love the U.S. Army, you want to stay tuned to this message, because what I'm going to tell you is going to shock a lot of you. And don't worry, I've got the receipts to back it up.
Trump deployed airborne infantry paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division to the National Capital Region to respond to protests. This has been confirmed. Yes, you heard me correctly. Active duty forces were brought to the National Capital Region to quell American citizens who were exercising their constitutional right to protest.
I don't want to bury the lead, so let me hop straight in and tell you this. Donald Trump is a liar. We all know that. But there's some things that he tells the truth on. And these two things should scare the piss out of you. One,
he is a dictator.
And he will be a dictator on day one. Not my words, his.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
And the second thing that's the most shocking, that I'm gonna back up in this video with receipts, is the fact that he will use the military to quell civil disturbances. He has done it, and I have proof in this video. This video is really in response to a lot of comments that I've been getting that have been filling up my DM box. And what's been filling up my DM box? It's been comments from friends who I serve with, some of which who I've served with in Iraq and Afghanistan and the Horn of Africa. And my friends are telling me that they are surprised that there are so many of us who serve to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America that are willing to vote for a mini dictator. Hopefully, this video will help you understand the facts on what's going on, so that way you can make the decision for yourself. And again, you know me, I come with receipts.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
He looked frankly at General Milley and said, "Can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something." And it was not just it was a question in the form of or a suggestion in the form of a question. And we were just all taken aback.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
Posse Comitatus. What is Posse Comitatus? Posse Comitatus essentially is a law that says that the U.S. government is not going to use active duty forces for civil law enforcement. Now, you may have seen folks in uniforms that look like the one that I wore for 35 years doing civil enforcement operations, but those folks are generally National Guard, and they're underneath the direction of a state governor. And in those cases, Posse Comitatus does not apply. Posse Comitatus only applies to active duty forces. So, what are some examples of active duty forces? Active duty forces like the 82nd Airborne Division, which I'm a proud former paratrooper of the 82nd Airborne Division. And so in 2020, during the height of protests, civil disobedience, legally, constitutionally protected civil disobedience in Washington, D.C. This is not the January 6 riots. This is the time when Trump had essentially used police to bust up the peaceful protesters in Lafayette Square, bust them up with tear gas and flashbangs so he could walk across the street with a Bible. You remember?
I'm not going back.
Yeah, that. So that was an example of what Trump wants to do. He wants to be a dictator. He wants to be a person who just ignores what our national identity is. He wants to be the person to be able to put a pin, put a stop, put a halt into the years of freedom that this country has enjoyed since 1776. The beacon of light of freedom, he is willing to extinguish it because of his own ego and thin-skinnedness.
Oh, that's gotta hurt!
It is a big freaking deal when you use Title X forces to be able to quell civil disturbances. And that's exactly what Trump did. But Trump did not do this with any ordinary force. Trump used America's 911, the 82nd Airborne Division, to go to Washington, D.C. to be able to put down the civil disturbances that were going on.
Just shoot them in the legs or something. And this was not normal behavior.
So go take a look at this article and read it for yourself.
Of course, the context is the president is standing up, sitting down. He's red-faced, he's angry, he's yelling at us, he's swearing at us. And this goes on for 20, 25 minutes. Obviously, the toughest meeting I probably ever had.
Election day is Tuesday, so get out there and vote. Show your love. And vote.